Hi guys, so you may remember from my definition I talked about electrolysis. Now just as a recap, electrolysis is the separation of a substance into two separate parts by passing electric current through it. Now this process is commonly used to separate water into hydrogen and oxygen, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this process with common household items. Now most of these items are pretty easy to find just around your house, so what you're going to need is two number 2 pencils just like these, a 9-volt battery, alligator clip jumper wires. You can find these at Walmart, they're pretty cheap. A glass of water, some table salt, cardboard, can just be a scrap, scissors, and a pencil sharpener. Alright, so just some general precautions. This procedure could potentially produce small amounts of chlorine gas because of the salt that we're placing in the solution. So you should never try this with more than 9 volts of voltage, and you should always do this in an open ventilated area. Also, this procedure produces oxygen and hydrogen in a 1:2 ratio, which will combust violently if ignited. So you should never conduct this experiment near open flames or sparks. Alright, so your first step is going to be prepare the water. You're going to want to fill a glass about 3/4 of the way full with water, just about like this right here. And then you're going to want to add some table salt to the water. This is a catalyst in this experiment that will help to speed up the process. You don't need much, depending on how much water you have, but just want some salt in here. Alright, and you're going to want to stir it. Now you can use a spoon, but I'm just going to use one of the pencils because it works just fine. Just stir it up until it's all dissolved in there, and you should be good to go. Alright, now the next step is going to be prepare the electrodes. So for this experiment we're going to be using the pencils as the electrodes. This is because graphite is conductive and it won't dissolve in the water. So you're going to want to take the two number 2 pencils, and you're going to want to remove the end cap from both of them. So you can do this by grasping the end cap with your pointer finger and your thumb of your left hand, and gripping the pencil with your right hand, and then just prying off the cap. It might take a little bit of wiggling, but it should pop off like that. If you have trouble doing this, you can use pliers to pry it off as well. Alright, so now that you have the end cap off of both pencils, you're going to want to sharpen both pencils with the pencil sharpener. I already have 2 pencils sharpened right here. You can see both ends are sharpened, ready to go. Alright, and now you're going to want to cut the cardboard to fit the top of the glass. Now you should cut it so that it'll sit on top of the glass without falling in. Just good. See, it'll sit on top of there without falling in. Alright, then you're going to want to stick the pencils through the cardboard. You might need to use the scissors to start the hole, but I already have a piece of cardboard here that already has holes in it, and I'm just going to put these in here. So when you stick this in here, the pencils should be suspended in the water without touching the bottom of the glass. You might need to adjust the height that they're sticking into the cardboard as needed. Also, you're going to want to make sure that you space the pencils at least 1 inch apart. This helps when you connect the electrodes. Alright, so now that you have this set up, you're going to want to attach the battery. So take your alligator clip jumper wires right here and attach the one with the black wire to one pencil tip, and the one with the red wire to the other pencil tip on top. Now you're going to want to twist this a little bit to make sure that the electrical connection is good. Alright, and then you're going to want to take your 9-volt battery and attach the other ends of the jumper wires to the battery. It doesn't matter which wire goes where, as long as both are connected. Now you should make sure that when you have the battery connected, that you never touch the other two ends of the jumper wires together. This will create heat, which could possibly make the battery explode or start a fire. So you're going to want to make sure that these ends aren't touching and these two ends right here on the battery are not touching. Also, make sure to disconnect the battery when you're done with this experiment. Alright, so now that you have this all set up, you should start to see bubbles forming at the pencil tips. This is the hydrogen and oxygen forming. At one pencil tip there's twice as many bubbles as the other. That's because this is where hydrogen is forming, and there's twice as much hydrogen in water as there's oxygen. If you're not seeing any bubbles at all, you might want to twist these leads again a little bit to make sure that they're connected well on the pencil tips. Also, you might want to do the same for the battery. If it's still not working, you might need a new battery because the battery you're using might be dead. So as you can see through these instructions, water is very easily separated into its two parts, hydrogen and oxygen. And I hope you understand a little bit more about how hydrogen and oxygen are produced in industry. Thank you.